please do not invite me to another Galentine Day, Boss Babe brunch, women's prayer retreat, women's getaway retreat, women's whatever. If there's no men there, okay? I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm tired of it, okay? First of all, I hate the term boss babe anyway. I've never liked it. Don't like it. Galentine Day, I think, is ridiculous. And like I said, it's my unpopular opinion. I know there are women out there who love it. And so I'm going to dig a little deeper into it. For those right now who are probably, what is she talking about? I love Galentine's Day. I really think that the society right now is taking advantage of the single Black woman. And I just speak for Black women because that's who I am and that's all that I know. But it seems like they are really using us, realizing there are a lot of single Black women right now and many we're doing very well for ourselves. So they're marketing everything toward us, taking our money. And I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying to go sit and meditate with a group of women, a room full of women. I'm just not. So I have a great friend circle. I have a lot of friends that we spend time together. We do things together. I'm all for a good girls trip. There's nothing at all wrong with a good girls trip. But I'm 53 and I'm about to be 54. I don't need to connect or network with anyone. I'm just tired of seeing so many of us. I think in the culture now, we're so used to just doing everything on our own as women that we've forgotten that we need men. And it's not that the women who do these things don't know. And I'm sure they would prefer, maybe, possibly, maybe not, to have a man in their life. And maybe this is just something they're doing to occupy their time. But for me, it's just not my thing. It's I don't want to go constantly. It's like a new one I used to say every month. Now, like every week, there's somebody starting this new women's group and they want you to be a part of it. You know, I don't want to buy soap and candles anymore. I don't want you to ask for my money. I don't want to join and then have to pay. Like it's all become big business now. And I just think it's ridiculous. You know what happened to us needing one another, needing a man in our life. And I know some women are going to disagree with me. I already know it. But we do need each other. And I think the culture now is all about women doing it on our own, not needing anyone, being a boss babe. And that's fine. Some women maybe have made it through life and realize that they don't have maybe a female connections like they need. And they're looking for that. They're seeking out that community of support. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I have a great support system. I have my community of women or whatever. But I think in my group of women, we all see the importance of having that masculine energy. Like we understand that it is important. And I know some of these groups, there are married women who may attend also. Maybe they want to get away. They want to get away from raising kids at home, you know, being around their spouse all day. And maybe they are looking for women to connect with and do that. And there's nothing wrong with that once in a while, but I'm not going to do it on a consistent basis. I'm over it, okay? I don't. Wait a minute. What happened to social groups anymore? What happened to social parties? What happened to, and I guess because I'm single, maybe that's why people are reaching out to me and including me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you've thought about me in the invites, but no, I don't, and I don't know who started Valentine's Day. That is just, to me, ridiculous. It's a way, I think, of just making money for a group of single women who don't have anybody and want to celebrate Valentine's Day. So they came up with Valentine's Day so you can spend your money and have all the, it's just, let the day pass. It's not that important. But I'm not huge on Valentine's Day either. So, maybe that's just me. But let the day pass. It's okay not to celebrate that day. Really, it's okay. Let's start that as a new norm.
I used to have a friend that would tease me about how much I enjoyed being around men and having male energy in the room. Mind you, I didn't grow up being around men. And so one of the things that I absolutely agreed with is when she said very candidly, please stop inviting me to these boss babe, all women events. Galentine's Day, all of these things, boss babe brunch. Stop sending me these invites. I actually like connecting with women. I don't like connecting with women under the guise of we are going to attend this event and we are going to leave and feel empowered. Because a lot of times that leads to feeling depressed and finessed. And it reminds me of when I was younger, back in my 20s, when I would go clubbing from time to time and I would get all dressed up and, wear some heels that hurt my feet. And, I think I probably had expectations that I would hopefully meet someone. And what would happen? I would come home sweaty. My feet was hurting, hungry, like didn't meet anybody, or at least didn't meet anybody who I was interested in. And I always felt like that was a complete waste of my time. And this is not all women's empowerment events. But again, I think sometimes women set their expectations so high. And what we have to understand is the financial component to all of this. The fact that the goal oftentimes is to make money, not necessarily to empower, for folks to get empowered. And so that then leads to folks not only potentially getting finessed out of some dollars, but also leaving in, maybe depressed is too strong of a term, but just disappointed, feeling disappointed because said events rarely, if ever, deliver on said promise. And, I don't need any more candles. I already know where to buy my shea butter, my body butters and so forth. I know where to get my oils from. So like a lot of times there's this expectation that we're going to bond over like products and things like that. And it's like, no, again, I have enough candles. Telling me that I need to meditate, telling me that my life would be better if I expanded my options and started to date white men, telling me that, I'm just thinking of things that typically comes up at these events. Again, that I need to do self-care. I want to hear something that I don't typically hear. And so that is my thing about a lot of these events, is that a lot of times you're getting sort of regurgitated information, things that you can hear any and everywhere, things that you've heard before. And it's not really accountability, meaning, there's nothing that's, rarely, if ever, is it like actionable. Like, I'm a coach. So what I do with the folks that I coach typically is about, well, what actions are you going to take, and getting them to think about and also document what they're actually going to do. And a lot of times with these empowerment events, it's about, fluff and cupcakes, rainbows, butterflies, buy some shea butter, buy some more candles. But it's not necessarily about, well, what's the next step? what is the next step that I need to take or you need to take to get to where you want to be. So I'm not at all hating on the events and or the people who want to do these events. I mean, that's totally fine. I just personally haven't gotten much out of these types of things over the years. And so I thought it was interesting when this woman's video popped up, and just the response that she was getting in her comment section, I thought it was actually refreshing to hear. Apparently there's a lot of other people who feel the way that I do, and perhaps the way you do. So
yeah, so I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm sure the feedback, I don't know what kind of feedback I'm going to get, but for me, like I said, I'm over it. I love the fact that while I was away during the storm that we had here, the snowstorm, that when I came home, my driveway was shoveled out. Like, those are things we need men for. I appreciate if my car breaks down or I'm stuck somewhere, I have someone that I can call. Not that I couldn't call my girlfriends, but it's a different thing when you can call a man to come help you, or keeping your car filled with gas, or washing your car. I hear noise in the attic. Okay, you gonna go up there? Because I'm not going up there. And kudos to all the strong women. We're all strong women. Whatever your definition of being a strong woman is, we've had to figure it out. We have to figure it out. Like, there's no other way around it. If you're by yourself, you figure it out. We're doing things. I saw a video the other day. The comedian was saying that more women now, single women, are buying homes than single men. That we're buying our homes. We're doing all these things. But when it comes down to it, who you gonna call? I mean, you can hire somebody, a plumber, of course, but who you gonna call when something major happens? Like, we need each other. And I know people might look at this video and think, oh, you being a weak woman, you making it seem like women, we can't do anything for ourselves or whatever. I'm not saying we can't, but it's okay to just relax. When you need a break and you need to just relax and let somebody else handle it, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's a great feeling. So I think the divide is getting bigger and bigger between men and women. I'm noticing on social media. I don't get into the whole podcast thing with men versus women. I hate when that even started. But I think that we're getting so used to and accustomed not being together. And I just think that this is something else that is just pushing us further and further and sending the narrative that we don't need them. And it's just my opinion. Like I said, you could take it for what it is. I just know I'm tired of it. And I know some of my single friends are also tired of it too. They're like, don't send me nothing else. No more invites. Because if you just want my money, I'm not paying to go look at a whole bunch of women. I'm not doing it. Now, if it's a girls trip and we all know each other, fine. Maybe it's just me. Now, I told you the words I don't like, boss babe, but I can tell you one word I can get behind: soft life. Because we're tired of the hard knock life. We're tired of it, especially in this world we live in. And men too, they need a break too. They need that feminine energy around them, that woman to, rub their head, make them feel good. Like, we need each other, okay? But yeah, back to these, like I said, events, these women events that I see popping up everywhere. Yeah, I can't do it anymore. So that was my unpopular opinion, guys.
This video really resonated with me because for most of my life, I just felt like, what is wrong with me? Why don't I want to attend these women-only events? anytime I would get an invite, I'm like, ah. Now, of course, this goes back to even when I was single, but even as a married woman, I still kind of feel like that, because generally speaking, I like the polarity that exists when there's feminine and masculine energy in the room. And, you know, as this woman said, I have amazing friends. So this in no way is saying anything negative about the women in my life. But we have to accept that there are women who just enjoy a balance of feminine and masculine energy. And I think it's sad in the society that the way this woman feels, I mean, she kind of kept low-key apologizing while she was making this video, because she figured she would get a lot of hate for her opinion on this. And I went into her comment section, and shockingly, from what I saw, it does seem like her comments were overwhelmingly positive from both men and women. You know, this is just a refreshing perspective in a world where everyone assumes, as a woman, especially as a Black woman, that you are some raging hardcore feminist. So Galentine's Day, the Boss Babe brunch, all of those things, you know, none of those things sound exciting to me. And, you know, my whole thing is, if you're inviting me to something like that, my first question is Iyanla Vanzant going to be there? If Iyanla's not going to be there, why am I coming? Oh, you mean to tell me that you want me to show up, do my hair, put on makeup, wear heels, put on a nice dress, get my nails done, to be in a room of boss babes, to be in a room of women? As toward the end of the video, she also gets into the territory that a lot of people would call pick me, which I disagree. I don't believe that she's a pick me, because what she said resonated, but she talks about, you know, the need for men, you know, if something breaks down, or if you need help, but, you know, she mentioned shoveling the snow, or, you know, and even if it's not a man doing a specific task, sometimes it's just about the energy, the polarity. And again, I think in this society, it's so sad that women who think like this almost have to hide it. In many ways, they almost have to pretend like they're a raging feminist so that they are not judged. That has to do with our emotions, our hormones, which is why sometimes we do need that masculine energy to create somewhat of a balance. And we see this even on girls' trips. Even when women travel together and do things together, emotions are high, you know, hormones can be potentially raging. I mean, you know, and again, sometimes I think it's okay to just admit that we like to be around men and we need men. And so I wanted to share this video with you all to say that I completely agree with her. And I think I attended a women's only event. It might have been last year. And I remember when I got the invite, immediately, at first I was kind of excited. And then I saw, oh, you know, this is women's only. And I was like, you know, the irony of women's empowerment, it never really empowered me, because the messaging there is typically has something to do with being strong, independent, doing it on your own, you know, and a whole lot of things where I'm like, that don't even sound like something I want to do. This woman looks really good for her age. She's 53, soon to be 54, as she says in her video. And I'm curious if it's a generational thing. Like, I think hearing a woman say something like that, like this, what she said, seems to be rare in our modern times. And I'm curious, would a woman in her 20s feel this way? Would a woman in her 30s feel this way? I mean, I know I did, but I'm wondering if what she's talking about, if it's now becoming more obsolete. I'm curious about if her perspective is maybe a little bit more unique to a subset of women who are in their 50s, or if you all feel like her having this perspective is more of just a values thing. It's just, she just perhaps values masculine and male energy. So let me know what you think. So I am editing the video and I realized that I left out so much. There is a closeness that you can have with a partner, a husband, a boyfriend, someone who you are in love with romantically. There is a closeness that you can have with that person that you obviously wouldn't have with a friend or a neighbor or a coworker. An example would be like bonding or having intimacy through physical touch. So the woman's name is DarLinda Tracy. She is the author of the video that I inserted into my video. But DarLinda, I think there is a sense of maybe frustration that she is expressing around, like, I don't want to go and be around a ton of women who can't give me the intimacy or the level of intimacy that I really want, that I'm really seeking. Because that level of intimacy is going to come in the form of perhaps touching, or maybe, you know, me putting my head on a man's, chest. But obviously, I'm not going to put my head on my girlfriend's chest. If I did that, that would be questionable. I'm not going to, I don't want my girlfriend to touch me in very intimate places, if you know what I mean. And again, this is not even about sex. This is just even about, there's an intimacy that goes along with sort of a romantic kind of connection versus a friendship. And so I think that is a frustration often that women experience. And you hear women from time to time say things like, yeah, I'm just really tired of hanging around so many women. Like, I really would like some male energy in the space. And again, it doesn't always mean that, anything sexual. It's just an expression of, there's a different level of intimacy that you can have with someone who you desire perhaps to be romantic with. The other point is, a lot of times with all these Galentine's Day events, boss babe brunches, all these different things, you'll find that women will frequent these things often. They will frequent these events often, and then also at the same time complain about being single. And that is like ridiculous, because it's like, there's nothing wrong with attending these, women only events. However, if you're single and you want to meet someone, obviously a man is not going to be at these events. So that means that you also need to be, in addition to attending these women only events, you also should be attending places and or events where men frequent, right? And so that is my criticism. It's like, you'll have all these women getting together, sometimes complaining about being single. And the irony is that, well, then why do you keep continuing to just hang out with each other? Like, the best thing you can do if you want to meet someone is to kind of break up from this big group that you're in and go out into the world and go into places and spaces where men are, and not just any man, but the kind of man that you are seeking. Where would he likely be at? And like trying to figure out how to navigate that space, and not even doing it from a place of, not even trying to navigate it from a place of like manipulation, because that's what Shira 7 teaches her followers, but to find a way to genuinely become interested in those places and spaces where the men that you want actually are. Like, share, hype this video, and subscribe. It is my hope that you become a Black and invisible channel member. If you want to become a channel member, you can actually click the join button. And I normally say it's at the top of your screen, but it's actually next to my thumbnail photo. So if you're not subscribed, you want to hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, you should see a join button instead of subscribe. So please do consider becoming a channel member. If you become a channel member, it will come with exclusive member-only videos just for you, as well as other perks and benefits. I am the author of My Own Gaze, Memoir of an Invisible Black Woman. This book is available on Amazon. I also have an Amazon storefront available on Amazon. So please do go into the description box, click the links, and you can check out my store. There are books in my store, soaps, shea butter, household items, a little bit of apparel. So just check it out. All of the things in my store are things that I personally use, things that I personally really like, and things that I do swear by. I am a YouTube coach. I offer coaching and consulting to those who want to get started and grow their own YouTube channels and become monetized. You can click the link in the description box for information about that. I'm also on Instagram if you want to give me a follow over there. My name is Naka, and I am here to make the invisible visible about Black women. I highlight the things that Black women typically wouldn't tell you. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.
In my dream, now you're back for more. Why you in my reality? My head closed the door, even though my heart just won't leave. That was then, can't go back. Hurts so bad, had to block out the memory. If we try again, start from scratch. You wanna pick up where we left off, but you've been gone away. You've been gone away so long. Since you've been gone away, you've been gone away so long. I forgot your middle name, I forgot your birthday. You still wear cologne the same, like it in the worst way. You've been gone away. Since you've been gone away, you've been gone away. 50-11 days, 50-11 days, 50-11. I lost count of all of the weeks that you have your way. Wouldn't pick a fight when